In the shadowed depths of a city plagued by fear and terror, a sinister figure emerged, casting a chilling veil over the lives of its residents. This is the tale of the Dark Night Stalker, a name that would forever be etched in the annals of crime and infamy. Brace yourself as we delve into the harrowing story of David Berkowitz, the man behind the malevolence and the relentless pursuit of justice that would ultimately bring an end to his reign of darkness. Prepare to enter a world where fear reigns supreme, but where the indomitable spirit of a community refuses to be extinguished. This is the chilling tale of the Dark Night Stalker, unmasking the terror within. The awakening of evil. David Berkowitz, known as the Dark Night Stalker, was an unassuming and troubled individual. Living in New York City during the 1970s, raised in a tumultuous environment, he harbored deep-seated anger and resentment that would eventually manifest in acts of unimaginable violence. As a young man, Berkowitz felt isolated and rejected by society. He struggled with feelings of inadequacy and a deep-rooted desire for power and control. These dark emotions festered within him, gradually fueling a growing rage that would ultimately consume his existence. In the late 1970s, the city of New York became a playground for Berkowitz's malevolence. The streets, once filled with the bustling energy of its inhabitants, now held a sense of dread and foreboding. Berkowitz's awakening as the Dark Night Stalker brought about a chilling transformation as he embarked on a sinister journey of terror and chaos. He meticulously planned his attacks, stalking his unsuspecting victims under the cover of darkness. With each passing night, his actions became more audacious, more brazen. The city was gripped with fear as reports of random shootings and brutal assaults began to circulate. The awakening of evil had cast its dark shadow over New York, leaving its inhabitants paralyzed with fear. No one was safe, and the streets became a hunting ground for a man consumed by his own twisted desires. The Reign of Fear. Berkowitz's reign of fear is marked by a series of violent and random attacks. He targets unsuspecting individuals, leaving a trail of death and destruction in his wake. His choice of victims seems arbitrary, creating an atmosphere of uncertainty and paranoia among the city's residents. The specific crimes committed by David Berkowitz included the shootings of Donna Lauria and Jody Valenti on July 29, 1976, Carl DeNaro and Rosemary Keenan on October 23, 1976, Donna DeMasi and Joanne Lomino on November 27, 1976, Christine Freund and John Deal on January 30, 1977, Virginia Voskorichin on March 8, 1977, Alexander Esau and Valentina Suriani on April 17, 1977, Stacy Moskowitz and Robert Violent on July 31, 1977. These brutal and senseless acts of violence left a lasting impact on the city, and the search for the Dark Night Stalker became a top priority for law enforcement agencies. The media amplifies the terror, sensationalizing the crimes and dubbing Berkowitz with the chilling moniker, the Dark Night Stalker. Headlines scream of the city's nightmare, instilling fear in the hearts of all who read them. The once vibrant streets of New York now feel haunted, as if darkness lurks around every corner. Law enforcement agencies are pushed to their limits as they scramble to apprehend the elusive Dark Night Stalker. The city is gripped by panic, with people taking extra precautions and altering their routines in a desperate attempt to protect themselves from the unknown menace. Berkowitz revels in the chaos and fear he has unleashed upon the city. His twisted satisfaction grows with each new headline, each new victim. He feels invincible, untouchable, as if he holds the entire city in the palm of his hand. As the reign of fear reaches its peak, the community rallies together, seeking solace in each other's company. Neighborhood watch groups form, people become more vigilant, and a collective determination to put an end to the Dark Night Stalker's reign takes hold. The chase and capture. The investigation takes a dramatic turn when a break in the case leads detectives to Berkowitz. doorstep. As they close in on his location, a high-stakes game of cat and mouse ensues. Berkowitz, aware that the net is tightening, becomes increasingly desperate and erratic in his actions. The authorities meticulously gather evidence, connecting the dots that link Berkowitz to his heinous crimes. Witness testimonies, forensic analysis, and behavioral profiling help paint a chilling picture of the Dark Night Stalker's modus operandi. With each passing day, the pressure mounts on Berkowitz, and the city holds its breath, yearning for an end to the nightmare. The media covers the manhunt with feverish anticipation, providing updates on the progress of the investigation and urging the public to remain vigilant. Finally, the fateful moment arrives. Law enforcement agents, armed with a warrant, storm Berkowitz's hiding place. After a tense standoff, Berkowitz is apprehended, his reign of terror coming to an abrupt end. The city collectively exhales, finding solace in the fact that the perpetrator is now in custody. As the news of David Berkowitz's capture spreads throughout the city, a collective sigh of relief washes over the traumatized community. People come together to celebrate the end of the reign of terror that had plagued their streets for far too long. The bravery and dedication of the law enforcement officers who worked tirelessly to bring Berkowitz to justice are lauded and celebrated. With Berkowitz in custody, the city begins the process of seeking closure. The survivors and the families of the victims find solace in knowing that the man responsible for their pain will finally face the consequences of his heinous acts. The legal system gears up for a trial that will expose the full extent of Berkowitz's crimes and ensure that justice is served. Berkowitz himself begins to comprehend the gravity of his actions, the weight of the lives he has taken, and the fear he has instilled in the hearts of the city's residents weighs heavily on his conscience. In the face of overwhelming evidence, he is left with no choice but to confront the consequences of his deeds. As the trial unfolds, the city follows closely, seeking closure and justice. The survivors bravely testify, sharing their harrowing experiences and the impact the Dark Night Stalker had on their lives. The legal proceedings serve as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the determination to hold those accountable for their crimes. Ultimately, David Berkowitz is found guilty and sentenced to multiple life terms in prison. The city, though scared by the horrors they endured, finds solace in the fact that justice has been served. While the wounds may never fully heal, the capture and conviction of the Dark Night Stalker brings a sense of closure, allowing the community to begin the process of healing and rebuilding. The story of the Dark Night Stalker serves as a stark reminder of the capacity for evil that exists in the world, but also highlights the unwavering spirit of those who stand up against it. The capture and subsequent legal proceedings mark a significant turning point as the city begins to move forward, united in their resilience and determination to prevent such atrocities from happening again. In the end, the story of the Dark Night Stalker is one of triumph over darkness, of the triumph of justice, and the indomitable spirit of a community that refused to be held captive by fear. It is a reminder that even in the face of unimaginable horrors, there is always hope for healing, growth, and the pursuit of a safer future.